No black cats, just straight facts.
Triple P certified.
Listen, we can talk about odds all day. It doesn't matter what the odds are. It matters what's gonna happen.
Welcome back. It's Perfect Parlay Pursuit, and we are here on a break week, extra special episode. Dan will be here momentarily. You know Dan. He's got that new puppy. He says he's logging in right now. That puppy's pissing, shitting, eating on everything in sight. So he's got to deal with that, but he'll be here in a sec. He's the big winner from the weekend, going 11 out of 13, posting nonstop winnings, it seems, in the open bet sheet. We're going to show you the open bet sheet that Dan put some major winnings in. We're going to show you the open bet sheet where I put some major losses in. Actually, I did get a win for you guys there. It just didn't feel like one because of the referee's misconduct, busting my dog, Trey Ogden, the dog that I've been talking about for 3 weeks. Guys, what did I tell you? Trey Ogden was here to beat Nicholas Mata's ass. That was the voided bet that kept me from some big winnings. But, you know, Alex, you did okay yourself. What's going on with you, man? We're coming off the heels of UFC Fight Night, Paul Allen versus Brandon Craig. And, you know, a lot of people were saying it was a good card. I'll get into it when Dan gets here, but I did not think it was a good card. I hated it.
I didn't really enjoy it whatsoever, if I'm being honest. I didn't enjoy much about it. I went 8 out of 13, I believe, but at the same time, didn't win any money, and it didn't feel like I went 8 out of 13. It felt a lot worse. It felt like a lot worse of a night. A lot of people that I was really, really relying on ended up letting me down, so I wasn't very happy with the night in full. How about you?
So if I look at the card, right, the first fight, Esteban, we triple beat certified him, and he got it done, you know, against Charles Johnson. Started to, you know, let Charles back into the fight at times. It's funny because, like, if Charles just fought round 1 and 2 like he fought round 3, it would have been a whole different fight, right? Some of these guys, especially guys on losing streaks who aren't by any means UFC mainstays and kind of are fighting for their job every time they're out there, they need to start fighting a little quicker. I think the main thing we're seeing too much of sometimes is this, like, feeling out process. This, like, I got to figure my opponent out, kind of see what he's doing, download him. Guys, that's all just jargon you heard. That doesn't fucking mean shit. You got to get in there and kill that guy. Like, you got to go after him and fight him. You know what I mean? You can't wait for the fight to happen. You got to, from the bell, if you're not doing offense, you're doing defense, right? So I think that was a, you know, great fight for Esteban. But then my grapes were instantly soured with Trey Ogden because he won round 1. He wins round 2. I have solo bets on Trey Ogden. I have him in a lot of parlays. I had him in a $50 parlay that did cash for $320. We'll show that in the open bet sheet. But it would have been $760 if the Trey Ogden fight wasn't voided. He was on that parlay. So $50 free bet from ESPN Bet. They were given a promotion, 5 $50 free bets if you bet any amount. So I bet $10. I got $250 and 5 $50 free bets. I put them all on UFC parlays, and one that would have paid $760 was cut in half virtually by the Trey Ogden referee misconduct. I mean, Nicholas Mata, my only words to Nicholas Mata are quit being a bitching. It's like, and here's another. Welcome to the show, Dan. Devil's Advocate Dan. Oh, big winner. Jersey on backwards like Nelly.
Sorry I'm late. I just don't give a fuck.
You son of a bitch. So we were just talking about, you know, the fight that cut my legs out from under me, cut my winning parlay in half, but the fight that actually allowed your parlays to continue. So without further ado, I'm going to pull up the open bet sheet. You can talk everybody through your big night over here.
Ooh.
Big winner going 11 out of 13 on the night. Only 2 incorrect picks. A big favorite in Lucas Alexander and a big dog in Paul Craig. Other than that, you were spotless on the evening. We're going to get into it. 11 out of 13 of the fights we picked on this card. We got to talk about the Uros Medic fight because I picked Uros Medic, but I don't know how you guys did. I originally labeled him as Troll B certified, but I realized we didn't Troll B certify him on the card. In fact, we went the complete opposite way with Johnny Parsons, who we did Troll B certify. I switched to Medic going into the prelim episode, un-Troll B certifying Johnny Parsons, but he pulled out. New opponent came in. I stuck with Medic. I had a solo bet on Medic, but I don't know if these guys did. So anyway, this is getting too in the weeds of Troll B certifications. Point is, Dan had a big night. Let's show the people the open bet sheet because that's where you posted the winning bet. So
Absolutely right. So, if you follow Devil's Advocate Dan, aka Danny the Betman, aka the winner of last weekend, you would know that I'm a mostly shotgun parlay player. If you don't know the vocab, that means anywhere from 20 to even 40 parlays. This card, though, I saw as slightly different. I saw it a little bit more cut and dry, a lot more cut and dry, actually. If you take a look at the open bet sheet here, I'm looking at mine, so I don't see what Luke has posted, but I'm assuming you're looking at that as well. I only had 3 parlays. 2 of them were more of my steady ones. The second one is where we have, a little bit more dogs in there. We got Brito, we got Oral By, who really was just a shot in the dark for me. Medic, however you want to say his name, very good fighter. But I just thought the fact that Oral By was listed by Vegas as the favorite, and then Medic getting steamed up. I thought, Vegas probably has this one lined up better than I do, and better than the fans who are driving up that price tag. So I had him in there. Lost it with Pinheiro. I really thought that she was going to pull it out for me. Great first round. Of course, she gasses out towards the end. But let's talk about the ones that actually won it. We're starting off with Estevam Mota, who got robbed. Okay, Mota got robbed. He should have won that fight. All right. He was clearly not submitted. If it goes to the judges' scorecards, he's going to win. Everyone knows that. Switch it over to Perez. And obvious. Listen, we try to stay away from the lady fights, especially when you're going full on investment. Just seemed like she had the wrestling edge, and she did for about 14 and a half minutes of that fight. The booty shaking at the end, unpleasant. It's a Disney Channel. Her kids in the audience. Even Brendan Fitzgerald was like, all right, your kid's here. That's kind of weird. Moving on. Next fight. The one landmine we had to stay away from, which luckily I did, was Lucas Alexander. And I told you guys when we were breaking down these fights last week, Jekka's Saragai, really good kickboxer. Okay, this was going to be a stand-up brawl. His lone weakness is the ground game, but it was never going to go to the ground, and anything can happen in a fist fight. So minus 500 price tag, easy landmine to stay away from. And aside from that, it was pretty straight shooting. We had Mick Parkin sweating that one out a bit, not going to lie. CLD and Jose Johnson. I mean, the commentary team said that Anlager had his moments, and maybe he did here and there, but Johnson was dominating the fight, in my opinion. And then I kind of just had a little bit of, double-sided here. One parlay ending with Morales, another parlay ending with Allen. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, well, Dan, you picked Craig. Yes, I picked Craig, but really more of a value pick than anything. My thought process was have the 2 separate parlays. If Morales wins, then we can have a little bit more leeway to just go with the straight, probably going to win minus 400 Allen. If he loses, then maybe we should hedge our bets. I was probably going to get a good price tag on the cash out. I forget exactly what that number was, but Morales ends up winning. I got a little bit greedy and said, you know what, let's keep going with this thing. Allen, I'm feeling confident in. He gets the job done. Plus $850 for your boy, and we are moving on to a break week, but December 2nd and December 16th as well are right in my scope.
So how much did you bet to win the 850?
150. So there's 1,000 in my DraftKings.
So you cut me off at my knees with your victory because Mata was the reason that you won. And I think you should give 10% of your winnings to Alex and I, because Trey Ogden was the winner. He won every round. I should
give you nothing.
Won every round and was winning the fight. He was in a dominant position. The fight had 2
I don't want your participation trophy.
No.
I don't want your participation trophy.
You should pay me money because I was robbed of even higher winnings.
What were you? What do you mean higher winnings? Mata was set to lose the fight.
No, he wasn't.
Won nothing.
I don't know what fight. You must have been listening to Paul Felder. I was actually watching the fight. So Moto was winning. Everyone knows that.
I had the commentary on mute. Everybody knows that.
Everyone knows Nicholas Moto was winning the fight. So I'm not giving you $24 or whatever you're asking for.
I want 850 minus 150. I want.
How about you should be grateful that at least someone on your show is winning money and then driving in viewership,
You're being
possibly
classy.
driving in some Patreon money here.
You have no gambling etiquette. You have no camaraderie. You have no sense of it. You probably would win blackjack. You wouldn't even tip the dealer. You're the type of guy who's never tipped a dealer in your life.
I've never tipped a waitress in my life, let alone a dealer.
Yeah, and you've never waited tables. You're born with a little silver spoon in your mouth. Mommy wouldn't let you wait tables. I bet. Don't want to get your hands dirty.
No, not at all.
Oh, so what was the reason then? Why couldn't you wait tables? Because you would drop food?
Listen, do I have to break character here? I never waited tables because I never felt the need to. I had other jobs. I was breaking my back in construction. What were you doing? You were handing out little trays of salad. You were handing out little trays of salad. I was breaking my back.
How many days did you do construction? Give me my $80. Run me my money. I want my $80. I want something. I want to wet my beak because I was robbed. You don't deserve that money. Dan, it's blood.
Didn't you break even?
You're taking blood money. And just so you know, like you went 11 out of 13. I went 5 out of 13. Dan, I'm about to
Luke, that lead, it's getting smaller and smaller every week.
He took the lead last week.
I don't care. You said I could never catch you. You said that to me. You said I had no chance of ever catching you. I was at one point 12 picks behind you. What am I at now?
Let's see. I'll find that, but
listen, Luke, if it's any consolation, if we're talking about blood money and sacrificing money to the gods, whatever the hell you're talking about, I lost $30 on NFL. So there's your money, not given directly to you, but given to the gambling gods. Okay, is that good enough for you, Luke?
No, it's not good enough for me. And I'm just saying that when you usurp, when you seize what's the word I'm looking for? Unscrupulous gains.
Luke, what would he be giving you the money? That's an unscrupulous gain. You don't deserve the money either.
Because I suffered a $320, $340 loss.
You went 5 out of 13. You deserve.
You broke even. I thought you broke even.
That's neither here nor there. I should have been breaking even.
I actually lost money and a lot of money. And I'm not asking for anything. I don't want your participation trophy. Well, I want to come for it all on the card that really matters.
Well, listen, it's okay because I've already started the karmic payback to Dan because I was already on the phone with our friend who booked an Airbnb for all of us couples as a big group. And he was mentioning to me that Dan hadn't paid him for the Airbnb yet.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
But don't worry, because I let him know that you just came into $800 yesterday.
Hey, buddy, I sent that winning ticket to him. I said, here, now I can pay. And he was like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he was like, oh, that's cool. He's like, so when's is the check in the mail? Or because
did you talk to our friend's brother, who's actually the person who booked it? Because I don't think
you were behind on 2 payments. I forgot you were behind on 2 Airbnb payments. No, I'm talking about the other Airbnb.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, guys, very special week. No UFC, but we already broke down the UFC that's coming up next. That's going to be Sarukian versus Beneil Dariush. Live from Austin, Texas. Joe Selecki on the card. It's going to be lit. We already broke it down, main card and prelims, but we're going to go back and break that one down next Monday for the Comb Club episode, as always. The Comb Club episode is where we go through every card we already went through early, again, with the fine-tooth comb, because obviously fights drop off, new people come and go. Dan was late, and now he's taking a break, like, already.
I know. I don't know what this guy's deal is.
You guys see what we're dealing with here. So, we got no UFC this weekend. We already broke down the UFC that's happening 2 weekends from now. We'll go through it again with the fine-tooth comb on Monday, see if anything's changed. But in the meantime, we got to give you some content. It's Thanksgiving, lonely time for a lot of people. I know a lot of our fans have no family, no friends, and we're all you got. So we want to be here. We're thankful for you. So we want to give you some time, talk about something. And there's PFL. So Alex mentioned, you have breaking news. PFL and Bellator, the merger.
Oh yeah. The PFL and Bellator have officially merged. The jig is up. I don't necessarily know what it means per se. They are saying that Bellator is still going to be ran by name in Bellator. My friend from high school, her cousin fights in Bellator, and I was trying to get the scoop from her. She had no idea. She had no idea what was going on. She actually sent me that Bellator had a fight this past Friday, and I said, I thought that was the PFL now. What's going on? Do you have any deets? Let me know. She knew nothing. She's all what is it? Mashed potatoes between the ears. What does he say, Luke?
She's all oatmeal north of the eyebrows.
Exactly. So she had no information for me.
What? Get in the wrestling ring. There's nothing up there. They're all oatmeal north of the eyebrows. They're all.
She couldn't help me at all. She couldn't help me whatsoever. I was happy to see Joey Bosa got hurt this weekend. And yes, I did send the video of him crying on the sideline to my butt buddies. But, that's all besides the point. We're here for one thing and one thing only. That's the PFL. And I guess we'll go through some NFL picks. Are we doing that on the Comb Club? Or are we going to recap this thing? Like, what are we doing here? I have no idea what's going on.
Right. Well, let's do a quick recap. I mean, I only wanted to talk about Trey Ogden. But honestly, cut Nicholas Moda. Don't be a bitching. When the ref does that shit, you hang your head in shame. You go, it's all good. He would have won the fight anyway. You don't sit there and go, no, reverse it. That's crazy. You took money out of Trey Ogden's mouth for what? You weren't going to win. Anyway, cut Mata.
We need Brock Lesnar back to punch that stupid mustache off his face.
Nicholas Mata is going to be sitting at a bar, drinking a beer, pointing at the TV as Joe Selecki gets the championship belt wrapped around his waist saying, I beat that guy once.
Don't bring that fire in him. Don't put that fire in him.
Please.
You're welcome, Mata. Now get to work. No, I'm kidding. But
Trey Ogden's jab was so nice. Oh my God, his jab really
doesn't matter with the jab. Does not matter. He didn't even train for that fight, Dan. He said I didn't even train for this.
Oh man.
So listen.
Give him a win bonus, why don't you? Because that jab was just so sweet.
Before we get, did you see the meme of them saying Israel at a bar and he's pointing to the screen and it says like I beat that guy once and it's talking about Pereira?
Yeah.
You'll love that, Dan. I mean, you hate Israel to sign it, so we'll get into more meme talk on the Comb Club. Meme talk is just Comb Club stuff, but a lot of names that we know on this PFL card we're going to get into in a second. But I just wanted to say Bubba Jenkins taking on Chris Wade. That's going to be a fight we can talk about. We got Ray Cooper III taking on Derek Brunson, UFC fighter. Aspen Ladd, former UFC, taking on Kayla Harrison. Impa Kasaganai versus Josh Silveira. Impa Kasaganai, he's Joe Selecki, Jim O type guy down there, I think, right? Magomed, I know he's down there. So I don't know if it's Salts Dog or Jim O. I don't know where he's at right now. But and then Clay Collier taking on Olivier Bon Mercier, the UFC guy. So there's 12 fights here. It's I've seen the PFL and I was impressed when I watched the last PFL fight I watched. So I'm going to give this one a watch on Friday. Starts at 5 p.m. We're going to run through this card with virgin eyes. We're going to run through this card for you guys just like looking at it like we're looking at some other sport entirely. This is not our typical UFC type of breakdown where we come prepared with lots of extensive knowledge, watching the fights every week. PFL is a side hoe. She's a side hoe, and we are going to do a little cheating this weekend while the missus is out of town. But worry not, Dana White, because I do agree. We do on this show. We denounce Ariel Helwani. We denounce Logan Paul. I like Jake Paul. He's a white hat. I think we'll go through a whole list.
Your number one favorite fighter.
Well, yeah, he beat Nate Diaz. So what can I do? And I'm not. But the first aggressive bullying tactic the PFL did at Nate Diaz was such a misstep. It was like the USADA, the USADA meltdown kind of situation. It was like you guys, and then the other guy goes on Ariel's show I saw recently. It was like a headline. It was like him just doing damage control, saying, "We're gonna leave the light on for Nate. Here's 15 million. Here's Jake Paul. We're easy to work with. Come on in. We got the infrastructure ready to do this thing." It's like, oh, now you're being nice. Nate doesn't work for the PFL, and I highly doubt they'll let him come in on a one-fight deal and fight Jake Paul and then leave. And nor would I'm sure the reason that Nate, unlike Francis, unlike all these other guys, can still go to UFC events and smoke a blunt in the crowd and get fucking let in the back door is because he's maintained that relationship. And he can step back in the UFC and make 15 mil, guys. He doesn't need Jake Paul in the PFL to make 15 mil. Like, he can do it in a lot of different ways. He's got the world by the balls. He's already made a lot of money. It goes very far in Stockton. Like, people need to realize it's not all about what they think it's about all the time. There's long-term shit at play here. You see Michael Bisping, see DC, see how they're employed for life. It makes sense to stay friendly with the UFC. Okay? So we'll bring.
I got a couple fights I want to cover though from the last card, if you don't mind.
We're gonna cover them. Go ahead. What do you like to talk about?
Joe Anderson Burrito versus Jonathan Pierce. Jonathan Pierce, biggest crybaby in the world. The whole time talking to the ref. This is one of the few fights I watched with sound on because I was eating dinner with my lovely girlfriend, and she likes to watch the fights with the sound. Yes, it subjected me to some of the worst commentary you'll ever hear. Paul Felder should be thrown in prison for some of his takes. But besides the point, this isn't going to be a Paul Felder bashing fest yet. But Joe Anderson Burrito, he's in there fighting Jonathan Pierce. First round, absolutely dominates Pierce. Pierce keeps trying to wrestle him. Burrito is throwing those ham hocks hard. Dude, Burrito is an absolute animal, and I love him. I love him to death. The whole time, Jonathan Pierce crying to the ref, that was behind the head. He's grabbing my cup. First of all, who the hell grabs a cup? Why would anybody in the world want to grab someone's cup?
Leverage. Great leverage.
Yeah, it's like those what are those dudes in Africa with the wrestling?
Yeah.
African wrestlers.
Well, no, it's their country. It's what their country's called, not their continent, Dan.
Oh shit. I learned something about Africa this weekend. I will get into it on the Cone Club, but
that it wasn't a country.
I didn't say it was a country. You said those wrestlers in Africa. What are they called?
Yeah, kind of like the North American. Anyway, Dan,
shut your damn head,
Jealousy is a real green-eyed monster on this show today. Go ahead, Alex. Keep going.
Well, fuck jealousy. I'm talking about JSP. JSP is on the ground talking all this shit. He's hit me in the back of the head while he has Joe Anderson Burrito on Joe Anderson Burrito's back in the second round. Joe Anderson Burrito goes blah 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 blah. Then JSP says, well, get up and do something, boy. Get up and do something, boy. Get up and do something, boy. And Joe Anderson Burrito immediately gets up and ninja chokes and finishes him within 10, 15 seconds. It was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Joe Anderson Burrito, dog of the week, dog of the month, maybe even dog of the year. Joe Anderson Burrito, you always have a plate at my Thanksgiving dinner table.
I love it. And we sure will be certified Joe Anderson Burrito. Some of you might be saying, I watched the YouTube episode. You sure will be certified JSP. But then when we did the Cone Club episode, we all independently came to the table and said, I think I'm switching to Burrito. And we all did. So he became what we call a clean shave. That's when we originally all think somebody should be certified, and then we all go the exact opposite way. We shave the whole head.
I kind of like a comb over
on
better.
The scalp,
Ooh, comb over. That's great.
Don't you think a comb over? A comb over sounds a little better.
But a comb over is to hide, like a bald spot.
We're hiding the bald spot that we left, and it was JSP. JSP was the bald spot.
All right, it's a comb over. So yeah, I think that that was a great submission. I think, Dan, you mentioned Alexander getting knocked out. So right before that fight starts, I take a look at a couple parlays. And I got Alexander on these parlays. I figure out, okay, well, his opponent, Jekka Saragi, by knockout is plus 1,000. If I just bet $8 on him, I can win $88, which represented pretty much everything I was set to lose if Alexander lost. And I thought, well, that's his path to victory anyway, because Alexander wants to fight in that fashion and he'll be happy to oblige. So if he is to win, it'll be by knockout. Boom, hit that, settled all my losses for Alexander, allowed me to rebuild. But it was the bet that I said originally that ended up being the one to win. It was Estevam, Ogden, Perez, Burrito, Hibas. 2 lady fights, as Dan mentioned. And yeah, I wasn't feeling good about it going into the second round of the Pinheiro fight. So I actually bet 50 on Pinheiro. I got her at plus 200 odds. So I thought that was a decent bet. And then I would have at least broken even or...
What, were you watching on tape delay? How the fuck did you
I don't know.
her?
I have no idea. I must have been behind. And the ESPN app is so shitty with not letting you just get live. Like, there should just be a button you press that just puts it to the live, like just all the way live. Make it as live as you can give it to me, Because you're right. Too often I hit the fast forward 15 seconds, but I'm like, oh, I guess I was behind. I hit it again. I hit it again. I'm like, was I a minute behind? I was most disappointed in Matthews. I had a $10 bet. Hooper by sub made that happen. Matthews, and then over 1.5 in the Paul Craig fight. So obviously the Paul Craig fight went over 1.5. It was $10 to pay $316. Would have been another $300 on top. Would have been nice to clean up what I missed with Ogden getting, robbed over there.
Awesome,
but Matthews didn't even put up much of a fight, And I was kind of watching the first round. I was like, I think Matthews won that first round. But then it just kind of snowballed, and the first round, in hindsight, didn't even look that close once I saw the significant strikes and all that. But yeah, Matthews stinks.
Peyton Talbot, I think he stinks. Nick Aguirre was beating his ass in the first round so bad, but Nick Aguirre is just so mentally weak. Like, I mean, to have somebody go like this to you right before the third round and then you go up to him and hug him, like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? When he went in for that hug, he should have literally bear hugged him and took him down. I mean, yeah. I am of the Floyd Mayweather school of thought. Protect yourself at all times. We ain't doing no hugging in there. We're in there doing, as Sean Strickland says, the man dance, and no hugging's involved. And if you fall for that trick of me going in for a hug, you're getting slapped right after. Just like who was that? Who was that fighting? Ortiz fighting
Mayweather.
Mayweather, yeah. And that's how a lot more of these fighters have to act. That there has to be more urgency, more desperation moves. Like that one dude who fakes getting knocked out all the time and then comes back and there needs to be more desperation acts, or we're gonna get a lot more of these what is the word I'm looking for? Exhibitions, where these guys are just in there having a glorified fucking sparring match.
Well, I agree with you 100%. And it's like, if you think we're wrong, you're wrong. And here's why. These guys fight 3 times a year for 15 to 25 minutes. You're saying that we're wrong for saying they should fight during that time, and that there's no room in that limited amount of time for anything but what we're here to do. You're saying that, oh no, they should be wasting time. You guys, we're running a show here. The lights are on, the camera's on. Tick, tick. We got to get fighting. We don't have time to waste. You yourself have waited and trained and prepared for months and months and months for this moment. And now you want to high five and hug and get to know the guy and show him that you're a good like coworker. Like, what is going on here? It's a fight. It should be a fight from the beginning.
And they're independent contractors. They are not coworkers.
And for the guys who think that it's all about winning, it's like, yeah, it's kind of about winning, but time and time again, we see examples of guys who lose and win, right? You can lose and win. So all that you can control is how you fight. All you can control is what you do. You can't control what your opponent gives you, but you can control what you create in there. So make it good and make it a fight. This is American Idol, and we're really quick with the hammer over here. We are going to cut you so fast on the show.
I've been dying to see someone going for the hug, and the guy's like, yeah, brother, come here. Knocks him out. I've just been dying to see that once. It has to happen one time.
People hate it when that happens, though. I don't, but people literally are like, look at this. This is lack of sportsmanship, blah, blah, blah. And like some guy, it's crazy.
Some people will say that, but like
sportsmanship.
People hate the jersey trade-off at the end of the game.
Definition of the word sportsmanship.
There have been polls.
What does this sportsmanship mean? Sportsmanship, respect for the sport, right? You are a sportsman. The sport is fighting. So if you are not having respect, meaning like, okay, so to what degree are you allowed to not hit your opponent, right? So you're saying, well, he had his hand up and he was looking to touch my hand. So that's an understood, unwritten rule that I'm not supposed to knock him out in that moment. But then if he puts his hands behind his back like McGregor did Alvarez and does this, then can you knock him out? That's not. So it's okay to take advantage of opportunities, but only when what?
When they're ready and they're able. And Luke, these people are like the Great Gatsby. They're calling the people sport instead of the sport a sport. And they don't understand that at all times you should be defending yourself. At all times, you should be using every weapon you have available. It's absolute bullshit.
Ability.
And sportsmanship. I don't mind if a guy after the fight wants to, high five, hug. Hey man, tap him on the ass. Good job. I hope you and your family are healthy and well and all this shit. But during the fight, try to kill each other. That's what Brendan Allen and Paul Craig did. There was no glove touch before that fight. Ooh. They wanted to fucking kill each other.
Brendan was going for it. Paul resisted.
Exactly
the opposite way I would have thought that would happen, but
exactly because he told Paul Craig to keep that same energy the night of the fight, and Paul Craig was the only one to keep that same energy. Sure, he did it by getting his ass kicked, but at the same time, I love that energy. I love that he tried. I love that he tried to do something.
And that's why Paul Craig's in a main event.
Yes.
After getting his bell rung by Johnny Walker, like he's the Hunchback of Notre Dame. He he's in a main event. Think about that. We got to get into this PFL card. Amanda Hebus, she's so good. Uros Medic is so bad. He
opened the fight up pretty well.
Orlabai is good.
He did not give a fuck in there. He was not trying to get up. He was accepting bottom position. He was trying to get up a little bit, but not trying hard enough.
Orlabai is good. I actually
leg locking his ass.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one. I guess he was pretty good.
I sent you guys this guy before, as soon as I heard. I saw that he was in LFA. He has some crazy uppercut knockout in LFA on this dude with an afro. It looks so sick. I sent it over to you guys. I said, be careful. This guy could be a spoiler for our party. I didn't listen to my own advice. Dan did, apparently. So I'm happy somebody listened to me, but Orlabai, he could be nasty. He could be the truth in there. It looks like he has a very diverse skill set, and he comes in on 3 days' notice and just gives Uros Medic what for? That's pretty great.
Chase Hooper, I think, Jordan Leavitt, I picked him on the show, but I was tossing it around a lot, going back and forth. But once I saw the weigh-ins, I was like, Jordan Leavitt, is now is much undersized compared to Chase Hooper. And everybody has this different image of Chase in their head. He's growing like a weed. And I was like, he's going to get the finish in here because Leave It is just like, think about it. Patty the Batty and Chase Hooper both submit you, but you're supposed to be the like a jiu-jitsu guy. Like that's, I mean, I know they're really good at jiu-jitsu and all that, but he's got to stop. He's got to be able to protect himself in there. You know, if you're doing jiu-jitsu in a fight and it's only able to last, like you're telling me you can't last 5 minutes doing jiu-jitsu with Chase Hooper. You can't last 5 minutes doing jiu-jitsu with Patty the Batty. Like there are probably guys who don't even fight in the UFC that can submit Chase and Patty in their respected gyms. You know what I mean? Like other like black belts and shit that don't even hobbyists, you know what I mean, can probably beat them or at least not get submitted by them for 5 minutes, you know? And it's like you have the ability to punch and you still get submitted. I don't see it. I don't know. I think Jordan Leave It. We got to leave him at the door, leave it. He's got to leave it. And by it, I mean the UFC for now. PFL guy, definitely a PFL guy. One fighting championship guy, you know, not UFC guy right now though. So Leave It, Matthews, Pierce,
Christian Leroy Duncan started the fight.
Ooh,
it looked like a snooze fest when the fight first started. He was just holding him up against the fence.
Proud of him.
And then the second round, he came out and just started throwing hard, man. It was great. It was great to see. I was like, oh, great. Christian Leroy Duncan, you know, CLD has a terrible fight in his last fight. So now he's just going to take the Kamaru Usman method of holding guys up against the cage. He's no longer a Leon Edwards type guy. He's more of a Kamaru Usman. No. He can mix it up. He can do both.
I thought Mick Parkin lost that shit.
I did too. I
just want to say that. I mean, you don't really care, but I just want to say I thought he lost that shit.
He wasn't doing anything.
I had Barkin, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if he got this one. The other guy,
you had a lot of winds blowing at your sails that night.
Oh yeah, because tough, close split decisions never happened in the UFC.
I'm just saying, you had a lot of those happen in 2 in one night for you, and both very necessary for your overall game. You had Parkin and Mata. You had Parkin and Mata in every parlay. I mean, you had Parkin and Mata in every single parlay.
Yeah, that was smart. They won.
Yeah. Okay, so
let's get smart,
baby. We got just 12 quick fights to go through. Clay, guys, we're gonna break down UFC Austin in the Comb Club next Monday. Today in the Comb Club, we're gonna just go through NFL. It's gonna be a little quick NFL episode. Get in the Comb Club, in there for the full year, and in the meantime, let's just talk a little PFL. This is triple PFL week. Clay Collier taking on Olivier Aubin-Mercier. It's interesting, right? They're still putting Clay Collier at underdog odds after, you know, he beats Jeremy Stevens. I remember this fight with, why did I think he fought? Why did I think Clay Collier fought Anthony Pettis? Did he fight Anthony Pettis? Has it been that? He did. He beat Anthony Pettis. Yeah. That, man, he's put a lot. That feels like just yesterday that he fought Anthony Pettis, but it's been 2 years. I took him as an underdog against Anthony Pettis. He won. He beat Jeremy Stevens. He beat Steve Ray, beat Shane Burgos. A lot of UFC cast-offs he's coming in and just beaten. So I don't see why this one should be any different. I mean, Olivier Aubin-Mercier, he's TriStar guy, coming off a few PFL wins himself. It seems like the obvious pick is him here, but I don't know. Something tells me why not reward Clay Collier for all the times he showed up as a dog and they're still making him 2-1. I'm going Olivier Aubin-Mercier. The Canadian gangster is going to win this. He's a minus 250 favorite, 4 years older. Yeah, he's 4 years older and he's shorter and he's got less of a reach. And Clay Collier's a dog, and Clay Collier plus 200. That's the pick.
Well, Olivier Mercier won this title last year, Luke. Does that sway you at all?
And he's got a lot of the same wins. Stevie Ray, Shane Burgos.
I mean, of course they do. They fucking fight all the same guys. It's
All right, I'll go OAM. Olivier Aubin-Mercier. I mean, I don't know. I'm going Clay Collier.
Hey, this is interesting, actually. If you look at Mercier, his last loss was to Arman Sarukian, who is headlining the next UFC card. Interesting little thing.
Yeah, Mercier, I think he won the Ultimate Fighter. No, he lost against Chad Laprice. Damn, Chad Laprice, dude. I haven't heard that name in ages. Has wins over Drew Dober, Anthony Rocco Martin, Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Olivier Aubin-Mercier just because he's got a crazy grappling. He's got some crazy grappling. The Canadian gangster. I think he gets it done. I mean, I like Cassius Clay Collier, but I just don't really know how he gets this one done. I feel like Olivier Aubin-Mercier is the more well-rounded fighter. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, so what's Clay Collard's deal? Is he like a kickboxing guy? Is he like a wrestler?
I have no idea what he does.
I know OAB or OAM, sorry. He wrestles a good amount, but I think he's been striking a lot more as of late. Like I watch his fights because he's just the main event. I'm not going to watch much more than that on a PFL. But his losses in the UFC, he took to decision. Alexander Hernandez, not that impressive, but Gilbert Burns and Sarukian. And then previous to that, he's just racking up the wins against a lot of good UFC guys. Andrew Rocco Martin at that time was good. Drew Dober, a little young, but still, obviously very talented. And now on a 9-fight win streak, and like you said, Alex, he could, wrestle if he gets in tough situations. So I'm going to go with Vegas. I'm going with the 2-1 favorite.
Me too. I'm pushing Trilby certify Olivier Aubin-Mercier. Trilby certify him because it's important to know where you're wrong, right? Like where you have wrong think. And I'm not a perfect person or a perfect gambler. So sometimes my opinion is wrong. I think about it. I hear these boys out. I go, okay, yep, I'm being wrong here. So I was being wrong. It's Olivier Aubin-Mercier. They're great game planners over at TriStar. They're going to know exactly how to get him in and out safely in this one. So Renan Ferreira versus Denis Gotsalov. This is going to be the tournament championship as well, the co-main event. I'm going with the dog here. I'm going with Renan Ferreira. Big, jacked Brazilian. Russians are low in my eyes lately after the Pavlovich knockout loss. So fading the Russian, going with the Brazilian. Give me the guy who just knocked out Maurice Green. He's bigger, more powerful. I'm going with Ferreira, baby. Problema. Timo Guerra. 6'8", 85-inch reach, 7-inch reach advantage over the Russian Denis Gotsalov. He's going to also be 3 inches taller. He's going to be 35 pounds heavier. He's going to be a brick shithouse in there. He's going to knock this bitch out.
And if you look at this guy's record, he's not a wrestle Russian. He is a Mr. Knockout guy, Russian guy. That's how he plays. He's beaten some UFC caliber fighters. Cesar Ferreira. Was that guy? Yeah, that guy was in the UFC. Jorgen De Castro, Maurice Green as well. They have a lot of similar fights. Fucking idiot. Do you know anything of the PFL? Do you know how this season works at all, Luke? But yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Brazilian guy as well. Like Luke said,
it's a tournament.
Yeah.
But generally in a tournament, guys don't all fight each other.
But the season before the tournament,
don't make me care about the PFL. I don't care. I don't want to talk about the PFL. Please, I got too much shit going on. I can't pay attention to the brackets and the bracketology.
How they get seeded is they all fight the same guys, pretty much. But
they should just have them do a mile.
Run a mile.
Seed them based on their mile time.
Yeah, but I'm going with the big jack Russian guy. He looks a lot like Robamacop. I'm getting some Robamacop vibes. I'm going to go with him. Dan.
Yeah, I'm just looking at why he's had 3 fights that have been turned to no contests. It's all like different things. I thought it was going to be him that popped on steroids 3 separate times, but his opponent did. And then there was another one where like the guy didn't actually tap or something. Anyway, I guess I'll go... I like what you guys are saying. I mean, the first thing that popped out to me, like Luke said, 6'8" with an 85-inch reach. That's like John Jones length right there. That's was that 77 foot 3 inches in arm span? I think he's gonna knock this older Russian guy out, older by 1 year, but we'll take it. Not much else to say. I'll take the 2-1 dog.
Sick. Well, next one, you got a -500 favorite, Larissa Pacheco, tournament champion. You'll remember her because she, I think, beat Kayla Harrison, right? Yeah, she did. She beat Julia Budd. She beat Kayla Harrison. A lot of good wins on her. She also lost to Kayla Harrison twice before beating her once. She also lost to Macy Chiasson in an exhibition battle in The Ultimate Fighter. This girl's fought Jessica Andrade back in the day, 2014, Jermaine Duranamy back in the day. So Pacheco is here. She's in the best version of herself, 29 years old, fought all those people I just mentioned. She's minus 500 favorite. I'm going to keep it short. I'm picking her, but honestly, like not a bettable fight.
Yeah, impossible to bet this. And I definitely don't want to take like a girl who thinks of herself as a hottie fighter, sticking her tongue out like that. That is also 35 years old. So that is a double negative, which usually you turn into a positive. Nah, I'm going with Pacheco here. And Isaiah Pacheco anytime touchdown tonight against the Eagles.
Man, you're not geared up and you're betting against the Eagles, at least through a player prop.
It's a part of
What's
this.
going on, man? Monday Night
Golden
Football.
Club. Strictly fight. Save it for the Golden Club. Okay, save it for the Golden Club.
Sorry.
Dan, you going dog or pass? What are you doing?
I'm going to Larissa Pacheco. I don't even know who's the dog or the favorite. So
more important fights to get to. Sayubud Sai the second. This guy's training with Sean Strickland. You know, he's down there at Extreme Couture. He's got a 7-inch reach advantage over this Russian guy, 6'3". The Swedish Denzel Washington is his nickname. He's a plus 145 dog. I think we take him here. I think this is the spot. I think we fade Russia. This Russian 2 months ago fought Solomon Renfro, and before that knocked out David Zawada. But I'm about the larger, longer guy who's at a better caliber gym with a lot of elite trainers around and smart game planners. I think he's going to go in and get it done. So give me Sai the second. I hear a lot of good things about him through the grapevine.
Last time Magomed fought somebody from this camp, it was Chris Curtis, and he beat him 2 times in a row. I think that Saudi boy Sai is going to get it right, though. Get one back in the win column for that team. It's hard to beat the same team 3 times.
You realize, I should say they fought before, too.
Who?
Ayubud Sai fought him in 2021. He lost unanimous decision.
That's completely fine with me. A lot has changed. Sada Boy Sai has been getting a lot better, and Magomed is he's again not one of the wrestling Russians. He's like a striker boy Russian guy, and I think that plays right into Sada Boy Sai's arsenal skill set.
Yeah, I didn't know that Sai was a training partner with Sean Strickland, but that makes sense, right? He's using the jab and, just being right out of the way of the punches. I like Sadbu Sai coming for the revenge, getting that revenge win under his belt against the man so nice they named him twice, Magomed. Sadbu Sai, who's the favorite on this, Luke?
The Russian guy.
The Russian guy minus 175.
So are we ever are all these going to be triple P certified, the PFL fights? Or are we ever going to get some mix up in here?
We'll see. I mean, they're all pretty straightforward.
Fights.
Yeah, I mean, we went Oliva, Mercier, Fanon, Ferreira, we got Pacheco, and now Sai. And now we got Impa Kasaganai taking on Josh Silveira. I know nothing about Josh Silveira. I'm looking at his record right now. Knockout, submission, decision, he lost to Omari Akhmedov a year and 3 months ago. That was his last loss, his only loss. Impa Kasaganai has that infamous knockout loss to Buckley, but then lost twice again after that. Once to Carlston Harris and once to Raymond Magomedov, split decision.
In Eagle FC, though, they were giving him that, they were giving him that Aldo dust.
Yeah, split decision too. So, but then it's put up a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fight win streak in the PFL and XMMA. I'm going to go the other way, though. I'm going to go Josh Silveira here. I think, American top team, relatively unblemished. I don't know. It's even as I'm saying it, I feel like my brain wants me to go Impa Kasaganai, but I think it's just for familiarity. I'm going with Impa Kasaganai. I'm going Impa Kasaganai because he's got that UFC experience. I'm thinking that he's more kind of like tenured in this spot, in the spotlight, coming in out of different organizations, having lost more than this guy, having to battle back. Now he's at Killcliff FC, it says here. So I'm going to go with Impa Kasaganai. Yeah,
I'm going with Impa as well. I feel like he kind of got a raw deal in the UFC. He did go 1-2, but if you remember that Joaquin Buckley fight, I feel like he was winning that fight before that crazy knockout that's like a 1 in a million type of a knockout. And Kasaganai has really crisp boxing, some good kicks as well. I think he goes out there and gets it done. Dan, what do you think?
I think Impa Kasaganai is not a great fighter. I never, when I was watching him fight, thought this guy is a knockout threat. He looks, he's jacked, he's in insane shape, but the way his punches are coming out, it's like I never thought he was going to ever land a flash knockout, right? So I'll take the guy that's coming up from ATT. Clearly someone that the PFL is interested in. I mean, this is the championship of light heavyweight, right? So I like the PFL product. Oftentimes, you could go a lot worse in deciding a fight than just, it's the UFC fighter. They're going to lose in the PFL. That's normally how it happens. They set them up to lose to boost their fighter. So that's the route I'm going for this.
Next fight, Kayla Harrison versus Aspen Ladd. Guys, take everybody through this one real quick. I got to run. I'll be right back.
So I was once hanging out with my girlfriend's sister's husband, and he was blowing Kayla Harrison a new one. Because he used to train judo, and he got to meet Kayla Harrison before, and he was like, Kayla Harrison's an absolute beast. Judo is actually pretty good. Judo is cool. Judo is something that everybody should learn. It's a good self-defense. It's good for fighting. And Dan, that same night is the same exact night Larissa Pacheco whooped this shit out of Kayla Harrison. I didn't even know they were fighting. I'm hearing all this, and then I see it on my Instagram feed when I'm in the car on my way home. I'm like, Kayla Harrison ain't shit. Okay, she fights at women's lightweight. Didn't she fight at some crazy weight class that isn't even real? Yeah, she used to fight at lightweight. They made an entire weight division for her. There had never been a women's lightweight division anywhere in the world besides when Kayla Harrison came to the PFL, which is why she never came to the UFC. She did not come to the UFC because the UFC didn't want her. She just wanted to fight at lightweight. And the UFC had this problem in the past with Cyborg. They created a whole weight division for her. Guess what? They won't do that again. They will never do that again. They're already trying to get rid of the weight class. Freaking Cyborg and Amanda Nunes held up featherweight for the last 3 years or whatever. Jermaine Vandermeen or whatever the hell that other champion's name was. But besides the point, they made a whole weight class for her. Now she's a minus 770 favorite against Aspen Ladd. Rightfully so. Aspen Ladd is just as bad. Aspen Ladd stinks. Aspen Ladd stinks on ice. Aspen Ladd will still probably find a way to miss weight in this one. There's nothing Aspen Ladd loves more than missing weight. Oh my gosh. Oh no, that was in the UFC. I was like, did she really miss weight in the PFL at 145? That is hilarious. After not fighting at 145 in the UFC, which is interesting because Aspen Ladd, did anybody tell you that there is a 145 weight class for the women? Is there? No, there isn't. Bantamweight's the highest.
I don't think so. Not for PFL. Not for the UFC anymore either.
But in the UFC, didn't they have women's featherweight, or no?
Yeah, you were just talking about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
that was your whole point.
But why wouldn't Aspen Ladd just fight 145? Like, if she just missed weight 12 times in a row in the UFC for 135, wouldn't you just think she just bumps up in weight classes?
The only person that you would fight in that division is Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, I guess it is.
She's going to get blasted in the face.
I guess that is the raise your hand and you get a title shot weight division. But anyway, Aspen Ladd stinks on ice. Who knows? Maybe she'll be good at featherweight, but she's losing to other chicks in the PFL. So I can't believe that. She's going to get smoked. As bad as Kayla Harrison is, Kayla Harrison's going to win this one. I don't give a shit that she won an Olympic medal in judo. Judo is fake.
Aspen Ladd, just as bad. That's going to be the newspaper headline tomorrow, Alex. That was a very good headline. Someone's going to steal that. Harrison's going to win. Minus 700, completely justified. That's all I got for it. Alex covered it head to toe.
So,
right, Lukey, what do you got for us?
I'm going Kayla Harrison, but
like
you said, I don't have any confidence in her, and I don't think that she's the greatest of all time or anything like that. I'm not betting her at that the minus 700 odds. So can Aspen Ladd win? Sure. But I think Kayla Harrison has all the ability to big sister her in there a little bit. Better.
Aspen Ladd can't win. She can't.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to bet this one, but if I did, it would be Aspen Ladd, but I'm not going to.
Hey, newsflash! I'm not betting any of these fucking weird. The only one I might bet on is the Bubba Jenkins one.
Why is he like the first fight on the prelims? I was like, this should be like the headliner. Bubba Jenkins is the man.
I guess he just didn't make it to the 145 championship. I guess Larissa Pacheco beat him at some point in the tournament, and now he can't fight for the title.
Makes sense. But either way, so we're still be certifying Gila Harrison, I guess.
Yeah.
Ray Cooper,
Yeah.
Derek Brunson. Derek Brunson, when did he start going by the one? I thought he was the chosen one.
Is he lagging for you too, Dan?
Am I lagging?
You're lagging for me bad.
You're good for me. Good for me. It's that backwoods Wi-Fi. Anyway, we got Ray Cooper, Derek Brunson. I'll start this off. I'm liking some Ray Cooper here. Derek Brunson is too old to wrestle. It's going to be a striking match. Cooper, from what I hear, from the limited amount I've seen, hell of a good. He was like a kickboxer or something. That was this guy's deal. But like top end, I like Ray Cooper here. Brunson never impressed me much, and yeah, he will not win this fight.
That don't impress me much.
Well, really good odds if you like Ray Cooper III, minus 175. I think I'm going to go that way too. I just don't like the 9-year age gap. I don't like back-to-back stoppage losses so quick too. I mean, only took 8 months off after the Drake buzzes. How long was he not training? So yeah, I mean, he is towering over Ray Cooper III. He's going to be 6'1" to Ray Cooper's 5'7", 77-inch reach to Ray Cooper's 70-inch reach. You know what, man? I'm rooting for Brunson in this one. Comeback story. The odds are just not there for me, though. Coming off back-to-back knockout losses at 39 years old, the odds are not there at plus 145. You should be. But the size, the athleticism, the ability to get this fight to the ground, it's all there. I just think at some point in these 3 rounds, Brada Boy's probably going to put chin to leather and knock him the fuck out. So sorry, Brunson, but got to go Brada Boy. Generous odds if you think he's going to get it done at minus 175. But I could also just see a 3-round Brunson leg hump fest, right? I mean, it's kind of weird. Kind of the fit of it. The fit of it is what's not making sense. But
what color hair does Brunson go out with? Going with the blonde?
But if Brunson can't get low on him because he's too short and low center of gravity, Hawaiian, good balance, you know what I mean? Surfing, like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking. The balance.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm going. I'm going with Derek Brunson because I actually know that he's a good fighter. Ray Cooper, Brada Boy. He missed weight in 2 fights ago. If he doesn't get the knockout, he usually doesn't really do too well in the fights. And I know that he's related to Sugar Ray Cooper, right?
Not sure. Sugar Fly?
Sugar Ray. It might be Cooper, but one of the guys who is chairman at the PFL. He's like related to Ray Cooper, and he used to be like a famous Pride fighter as well. I mean, like Derek Brunson could lose this, but I don't see it happening. I don't think Ray Cooper's at the level of Derek Brunson. Guys, remember Derek Brunson was supposed to get in there and fight Roman Dolidze last weekend, but he just decided he's going to win $1 million instead. Derek Brunson.
He knocked out Chris Curtis in 2019. I don't know if anyone mentioned that. That's
Ray Cooper?
So that fight, Chris Curtis, it was like a multiple fight in one day.
Oh, sorry if you mentioned that. That's crazy. There was a
tournament. I didn't mention it, but we mentioned it on previous episodes of the show. Talking about Chris Curtis. Yeah. It was his second or third fight in the same day. All right. So next we got Jesus Pinedo out of I believe Peru. Is that what that flag is? Yeah, Peru. Jesus Pinedo versus Gabriel Alves Braga. Braga is a minus 130 favorite. The Peruvian is plus 110. He's coming off a split decision win against Chris Wade, whereas Pinedo knocked out Bubba Jenkins 3 months ago and Brandon Loughnane before that. These guys fought before to a split decision 7 months ago. And interesting. So I kind of want to go with the guy at a Pitbull Martial Arts Center. He's going to be taller, longer. They already fought to split decision, so you know this one's going to be close. You're giving me underdog odds on the guy who lost the split decision the first time, and he's on back-to-back knockouts against more impressive opponents, winning in more impressive ways. I'm going El Mudo, Jesus Pinedo.
This sounds like a conversation between like Bryce Mitchell and Habib, Braga and Jesus. Like Braga, chill. I'm going with Gabriel Alves Braga here. For no other reason than I just think Peru doesn't really, give us the best fighters where Brazil does.
But can I remind you of a guy who fought last week? His name is Kevin Bjorgas.
Yes, he fought really well, but he lost.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Jay's
revolution coming from Peru.
There could be a Peruvian invasion, but I don't see it.
Invasion. So Julia Budd was originally supposed to fight Kayla Harrison, by the way. That's who Aspen Ladd's filling in for. So don't be surprised if Aspen Ladd misses weight.
Aspen Ladd, no.
All right, Dan, what do you guys think about this one, Dan?
I am taking Pinedo. I'm actually really excited for this card now. We actually got some fights this weekend. This is great. The more I break it down, we got some good stuff going on here. I like
opportunities.
There's some opportunities. Yeah, they're fun fights. I'm in. I like Pinedo here. I love Brendan Loughnane, however you say. I always thought he was really good. He knocked his ass out with the knee. Bubba Jenkins, same thing. Another finish. I understand that it's a rematch. Braga won the first time, but split decision. I'd love to watch this fight now, but just based off of what we have with the resumes here, a resume crunch, if you will, I'll go with Pinedo. I feel like he's due.
Next, we got Biagio Ali Walsh, which I believe is a relative descendant, grandson of Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And he's 5-1, taking on Joel Galarza Lopez out of Richmond, Virginia. So I'm easily going to go with the extreme couture guy who's a descendant of Muhammad Ali over the 3-0 guy, and they brought him from Richmond to lose to the descendant of Muhammad Ali. So that's what's going to be for me. Easy one. I'm sure you guys agree.
Yes.
No odds on it. I don't know if we'll be able to bet on it. Some of these fights, they're not live. Can't bet on them, but
absolutely. I mean, his picture is so pixelated on Tabology. Like, he's only 3-0. He looks like an extra on the set of American History X. I'm going with Ali Walsh on this one. But there are too many people with 3 names on this card. That's something I don't like. You can't have 3 names.
Oban Mercier, Galarza Lopez, Ali Walsh, Alves Braga. Yeah, there's a lot of them here. All right, so we're all trophy certifying Ali Walsh. Bubba Jenkins versus Chris Wade. Very competitive fight. Interesting fight. 2 guys that come to, 10 losses and 7 losses, 17 losses combined. 35 years of age and 36 years of age. This one's just going to be, it's a well-matched, good scrap. And I believe these guys fought before. Yeah, they have. And I remember Bubba Jenkins won unanimously against Chris Wade. There was bad blood in that one, I do believe.
That's the last PFL fight I watched. It was the same night. Caitlin Clark won me a bunch of money.
Yeah, I was watching that night too. So these guys fought before. Close fight. Man, it's funny how you get so much parity of the continuing to match these guys up. What?
Chris Wade beat him before too in 2021.
Yeah, exactly. So now this is the tiebreaker, it seems. Bubba Jenkins in that first fight with Chris Wade did take some hits. Chris Wade was piecing him up a little bit. Bubba Jenkins also did land some good jabs. I remember. I don't know. Maybe Chris Wade didn't piece him up. I'm trying to think. I'm going Bubba Jenkins. He had a good jab in that fight. He's coming off a loss, but it's a knockout loss 3 months ago against that guy we just talked about, Jesus Pinedo. But Chris Wade fought Pinedo's opponent to a split decision in the same time. I'm going the underdog Chris Wade. I'm biased towards Bubba Jenkins. He's Penn State. I like him a lot more, but I'm going Chris Wade.
Bubba Jenkins is the man. I'm taking Bubba Jenkins. Chris Wade, overrated. Bubba Jenkins, the man. Sorry, Alex.
Absolutely. Bubba Jenkins is a bad man. Didn't he wrestle at Penn State?
I think so, yeah. I just said that.
Bubba Jenkins is the man. Chris Wade, he looks like an actor. I just can't put my finger on it. You know who it is? It's the guy from Entourage. The Vince's fucking agent, dude. Not agent, but his assistant guy. The
Hurdle. No. I know who you're talking about. E.
Yeah, he looks like E from Entourage, this Chris Wade. I'm going with Bubba Jenkins, though. And the last fight between these two was not competitive whatsoever. Bubba Jenkins absolutely smothered him, beat him up pillar to post. I think there might have been some fouls, though. I remember there was some drama involved.
All right, so yeah, I gotta go back and rewatch that one.
This
You're
guy's
going
name
with
is
Bubba
Kai
Jenkins.
Wu. He sounds like a fucking police siren. Kai Wu, Kai Wu.
So you guys are both going Jenkins then. That'll be the first pick we did not Trophy certify, I think, right?
Nah, I took Derek Brunson, and then Dan took
You also
Silveria.
You also took Braga, right?
I did take Braga. And I ain't gonna brag when I win that one.
Well, I'm just filling them in. Go through the next one.
Ooh.
Kai Wu versus Phil Chupacabra. Capoeira. Carapaka. Caracappa.
Almost like the Eagles aren't playing soon, and you want to just spend all night here.
I'm having a hard time pronouncing his name. It's a tough one. Kai Wu versus Caracappa. It's a little tough to read. This guy, Dana White, was looking at him at one point. Yeah, he did lose on the Contender Series. Yes, he did get rear naked choked in the first round, but I think he wins against Kai Wu, Jersey boy. Woo woo, let's go. Dan, what do you think?
Definitely going with the Jersey boy. Took Michael Trizano in 2015 to a loss, but a majority decision. So I guess what does that mean? Someone thought he won, or someone had it tied, or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, took him the distance, and some people thought he did pretty well. He's got just based on his opponent's records, I don't see any like 0-15s here like other guys. So he's got the experience. He's the Jersey guy. He's going to get the win. Phil Caracappa.
I got Phil Caracappa as well. Same reasons. Reach advantage, from New Jersey. All you need to say. Jesse Stern versus Josh Bladen. First fight of the night on the PFL card. Savannah, Georgia, 9-2 plus 190 underdog, taking on Woodlawn, Maryland. Jesse Stern, ground control MMA. Baltimore, Maryland. Ground control MMA, I believe, is John Rollo. Is that John Rollo? I think it's John Rollo's gym. I don't know. But anyway, Tucker Lutz fights there as well. So, yeah, what do you think? I'm going with the 5 years younger is Jesse Stern. Give me Jesse Stern.
That is John Rollo's gym. I remember him now. He's got a very mid-Atlantic accent. John Rollo, love that. And I did the same thing. I called him Jesse Stim in my head when I read that the first time. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with what I know, and I know John Rollo is a pretty good coach. I'm gonna go with Jesse Stern on this one. Dan, what do you think?
I like Jesse Stern, but I like Josh Blyden's topology picture. It looks like he's at this crappy gym and he wants to take a picture so bad, but the gym owner's closing it. And so he just gives him like one light, like, all right, come here, kid, take your picture. You suck. You're not going to make anything of this. And then they just move on. Just one last light at the small little gym. I'm going to go with Stern. I took a Stern look at this. I think Stern's your guy.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Some of people were wrong about that one, but we'll see how that plays out. I think everyone else were right about. Okay, so I'm going with OAM, Olivier Omba Mercier, Hanan Ferreira, Larissa Pacheco, Sejubu Sai, Impa Kasaganai, Kayla Harrison, Ray Cooper III, Jesus Pinedo, Ali Walsh, Chris Wade, Phil Caracappa, and Jesse Stern.
Alex, who you got? I got to get there.
First Wade's wrong. I'm going Bubba Jenkins.
Oh, I just X'd out of it myself, and I didn't take down any timestamps.
Oh, honestly. I got it. I'm starting off with REM. Then we're going to Renan Ferreira, Larissa Pacheco, Sad Busai, Josh Silveira, Kayla Harrison, Ray Cooper, Jesus Pinedo, Muhammad Ali, Bubba Jenkins, Phil Caracappa, and Jesse Stern.
All right. If you're rolling with me, you're going with Olivier Abon-Mercier, Henan Ferreira, Larissa Pacheco, Sad Boy Sai, Impa Casagne, Kayla Harrison, Derek Brunson, Gabriel Alves Braga, Biago Ali Walsh, Bubba Jenkins, Phil Caracappa, and Jesse Stern. Luke, is Ali Walsh the other Ali Walsh guy? Like, are they related? The boxer?
I think so. I'm like 99% positive.
With the braids? Cool.
Yeah, the boxer.
That's
On
pretty
the
cool.
top, Trophy certified picks: Jesse Stern, Phil Caracappa, Bubba Jenkins, Ali Walsh, Kayla Harrison, Sadie Boisai, Larissa Pacheco, Hedon Ferreira, and Olivier Aubin-Mercier. First four, last four, and Harrison in between. 9 Trophy certified picks on the PFL card. And that's all, folks. Break week episode. Hope you joined the Comb Club. We're going to hop over there right now, talk a little NFL before the Eagles game. And then next week, we'll be back in the Comb Club to break down again UFC Austin. But we'll also come back to this YouTube channel next week and break down the fight that is coming up the week after UFC Austin. And it's been really helpful to get a big, good look at some of these lines because they be moving. They be moving. I think Brendan Allen opened at like, 2-1, 3-1, stretched all the way to -500, -600 by the time the fight starts. So we're getting ahead of it early as we can. Get in there, watch the video, like it, comment. Earlier we put them out, harder it is to, capitalize on the excitement of the week, so to speak. So we got to help with the algorithms out. Not that we care. Do whatever you want. Don't give a fuck. Join the Comb Club. Any final words, boys?
Go Birds. See you in the Comb Club.
See you in the Comb Club. By the way, it's Trophy certified. It's patreon.com/PerPlayPursuit. That's how you get there.
Oh, and follow me on Twitter at EuroWonderKing. I'm in there. I'm coming for heads.
Power rankings. Discord power rankings. You got any? We'll see.
Devin, in no particular order. Devin, VCR repairman, G-Dubs, Cowboy, and Activia. There you go. No particular order. I wasn't really in the Discord much this weekend. Sorry, boys.
All right. Later, boys. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. We'll be back on Monday. Enjoy the PFL. We'll be in the Discord on the PFL card.